Welcome. My name's Taylor Stutzman. This is Ryan Ingalls. We are mental performance coaches at IMG Academy, and we're here today to talk to you about rethinking nerves. So we have a lot of youth athletes that we work with that come to us and ask for help with how to play well under pressure when they're really nervous. And what we found is most of our kids associate being nervous with something about to go wrong or something terrible could happen next. And so they really want to get rid of those nerves. So what we want to go over today is how to rethink these nerves a little bit, and so you can respond a little more helpfully in these situations. So the first thing we have to understand about nerves is that it's pretty much our brain a lot of times playing tricks on us. Our brains, we have a part of our brain called the limbic system that's designed to let us know when anything in the environment changes. And then that little change in the environment sends a physical response to our body, and we call it the stress response, and we get nervous. So what that looks like is I go from pretty normal, feeling pretty good, to something changes in the environment, whether it's a snake that I see in the corner of my eye, or maybe it's a late game situation with the game on the line and you've got to perform in a big situation. Something's different and my body responds, and now I feel nervous. So my heart rate might start to pick up. I might start to get really sweaty. My knees might get a little bit weak. I might start shaking a little bit. In some extreme cases, some people even get a little bit dizzy. And now when we have these feelings, a lot of times we feel like we've kind of lost control and we're just at the mercy of what may or may not happen. So it can be a really terrifying thing. So it makes sense why people want to get rid of these nerves. But that stress response doesn't always have to be a bad stress. It can also sometimes be a pleasant stress. Like if I like roller coasters, I might be going up to the top of the roller coaster, and right before I go over the top of the roller coaster, my body still gets that stress response. My heart rate's going to pick up. I might start shaking a little bit. Hopefully you're not getting too dizzy at this point. But a lot of these physical responses are very similar to when you got nervous before a big moment in a game. So the biggest difference here that I want to point out is that in the second example, when it's a good stress, I'm interpreting it a little bit differently and I'm smiling. The smile there is one of the most important things. In the first example, I'm not looking forward to being in the situation. I want to get rid of the nerves. In the second situation, I'm nervous, but I'm really excited about it. So one of the keys that we start with our athletes on how to rethink these nerves is choose your perspective. Am I afraid of this situation, or is this a situation that I'm really excited about? And sometimes it may be a little bit of both, and that's okay. Because if it's not a little bit of both, then usually it's the fear one that kind of takes over. So Ryan here played competitive golf. Now let me ask you, Ryan, when you first started playing golf, when you were a little kid in the backyard, and you were standing over a 3-foot putt, what tournament were you pretending you were playing in?
The Masters.
And what hole were you playing in?
The 18th hole on Sunday.
To win the whole tournament, right?
Oh, right.
So you first started playing because you wanted to be in those big moments. That's why you loved golf. Mm-hmm. So as you got a little older and you got into these nervous pressure situations, how were you able to maintain that perspective that this is a situation you want to be in and not a situation you're afraid of?
For me, rethinking nerves comes down to 3 main points. 1, if you're feeling them, you're doing something worth doing. So standing over a 3-foot putt on 18 on Augusta to win is something worth doing. The second thing is you need to find opportunities to feel these symptoms. They don't just happen by walking down the street. They happen by introducing yourself to somebody that you might not know. They happen by being the one that goes first in a presentation. And practicing that experience of having these symptoms and then dealing with them and looking at them appropriately. And then the third thing is it exists in all realms. So it's not just sports. Like that 3-foot putt that I practiced, that helped me be better right now in this situation. That helped me be better when I try to get a job at IMG and in classes to get good grades. So it's transferable in all realms, but you need to be able to understand that when you feel it in school, or in sport, or in your life, that the more you get accustomed to it, the more comfortable you're going to be. And that's the real reason to embrace nerves.
Well said. And I think the key, again, is these nerves aren't a bad thing and you can't get rid of them. And so a better approach is going to be to look for these nerves and expect them. And then you'll start to find these nerves to be a little more exciting than terrifying. So we hope you've learned a few things about rethinking nerves, and thanks for watching.
Thanks.